Just as I started recording, it obviously had to start raining. I guess that is a typical day in January in the UK. But this is not gonna hold me back off showing you my garden in winter time. Maybe a little bit of context about my garden. So I am in a typical new build garden in South Yorkshire near Sheffield. I have very heavy clay soil. I am north facing as well, which makes it challenging to pick out perennials and plants in general. So, lots of trial and error to find out which plants are going to thrive, and I guess we're going to find out together in the summer months. We started with this garden last July, completely from scratch. I think I'm going to make another video about this. But just keep in mind that everything that you see in here is not older than 4 months, literally. And obviously, most of it is dormant. But I still find it very interesting to have a look into gardens, especially around this time of the year, because it just fascinates me how, yeah, things can just burst into blooms in just a couple months. And I'm really, really looking forward to spring now. And I think I'm going to get started in hopes that the weather is not going to get worse. Okay. Well, at least this is a very good representation of what the weather has been like for the past few weeks. So that's a little overview of the garden, and I'm just going to start here by the gate with this super cute quote, and I do stand by that. I think it's true. So I'm first going to show you the patio doors where I tried to put some pots. It's tricky because it's very, very shady here, so there's barely any light. Honestly, planting stuff and just seeing how it goes. So obviously here I started out with some bulbs. Don't know what's in it. I think it's narcissus. And I got this super cute little fella at RHS, I think. So cute. And then here I have some irises. I have a couple more in some small pots. Picked them up very, very, very cheap from B&Q. But I just want to bring in as much spring color as I can, really. This is my latest purchase. Such a gorgeous pot. And in it is an azalea. It's called Madame van Hecke. Really, really beautiful pink flowers. But what got my attention was the foliage. This is really, really gorgeous, like dark, glossy foliage. So many buds on there already. And I think it just looks really elegant. Then here is our seating area. And I'm gonna just show you the little pots that I've planted with some bulbs for now. I want to grow some annuals, and I'm planning on always putting something new into them. Something I'm really looking forward to is this planter. By the way, I don't know what this is. I think it's probably algae or lichen or something. Please drop me a comment what to do about it. I really hope you can get rid of it because it's not very good looking. But anyways, in here I've planted erigeron. I love erigeron. The goal is that it's just gonna trail along the planter really nicely, and it's like really, really teeny tiny white and pink flowers. And yeah, it's gorgeous. At least I've seen it loads of times in gardens last year, and I wanted to recreate a little bit of it. Here we have my first rose. You will see I quite love roses, especially the ones from David Austin. And this is my only one in a pot. It's Eustacia Vi, or to be honest, no idea how you really pronounce the name. But it's a lovely pink one. And I just defoliated this rose last week, and I'm about to prune all of them, and I want to make a video about it. So if you are interested in pruning a newly planted young shrub rose, stay tuned, subscribe, because I'm going to take you along on pruning all of them. And then I'm just gonna pan around to my main border. Because we have a north-facing garden, this is where I get the most amount of light. So yeah, most of my perennials and plants are in here. But I wanted to provide as much shelter for wildlife as possible. So yeah, I'm gonna cut everything back, I think, in March time. So this is Geranium Dreamland. I planted this, I think, yeah, everything is planted here around July, August. It has grown amazingly. It has really, really nice, dainty pink flowers. And I just love geraniums as ground cover. You don't need to deadhead them most of the times. They're very free flowering. So wonderful addition for underplanting as well. Here we have a very small verbena. I think verbena is a staple in every garden. It just looks so wonderful, very magical, airy. Again, something for like late autumn interest, and yeah, just needed to have it in the garden. This is jasmine, and I absolutely love it. Not only for, of course, the wonderful flowers in spring that also smell lovely, they're white, but as you can see, I absolutely love the evergreen foliage. The red tips are gorgeous, and obviously, the bigger it will get, the more amazing it will look. I'm trying to train it on an obelisk, as you can see. Obelisk, sorry. Please excuse, sometimes I'm messing up my words. If you couldn't tell by now, I'm not English, I'm from Germany, so bear with me. Then I have my lavender here. It's looking a bit scraggly, but I did prune it after it has flowered. But yeah, I guess we'll just see. I'm gonna give it a light prune. And I also have some bulbs. I just planted so many bulbs around the borders, and I've forgotten the names of most of them. But I think that's quite nice because it's going to be like a really nice surprise to see yeah, what made it and what maybe hasn't survived. Here I have one of the flowers that I'm also really, really enjoyed. Especially great for late summer and autumn is Astas. This variety is Astas Mönch. Really, really lovely plant. A lot of very vibrant lilac flowers. And these Astas definitely have to be staked this year because they have been growing all over the place. But other than that, amazing. Then we have another rose. This one is quite spiky, as you can see. It's called Princess Anne. Very nice, deep pink flowers. Was one of my roses that lasted the longest, I think. This is a phlox, but to be honest, I have no idea if it's going to survive because it looks quite intense and it has been through a lot with the rain and the wind. But I'm going to cut it back and hope for the best. It's called Blue Boy. It's supposed to be really nice, like mauvey blue color. Here I have one of my favorites, which is a Crocosmia. Um, Again, something for more like late summer, autumn. And the buds also look really nice once the flowers have faded. This area is going to be redesigned anyways because you can see we've put a trellis around here because I want to grow a clematis. It's called Princess Kate. Really, really pretty. Again, I'm going to talk about that later on when I plant it in. Here I have a Woodbeckia. It didn't work well last summer. I planted it when it was quite hot, and yeah, it didn't really recover. Never really flowered. And then I have a Buddleia here and also a Salvia macrophylla. This is Amethyst lips, I think. So probably most of you know the hot lips variety, but this one just has a little bit darker flowers and they smell so amazing. And it's like semi evergreen, I guess, because yeah, it's been doing quite well, to be honest. Then I have a Hebe here. So yeah, I try to plant like a little bit of evergreens in the borders, although I just love perennials and you know, I do sacrifice a little bit bare borders for the effect in summer. This one is a lilac. It is very, very small. It's the variety Michael Buchner, I think. But I'm very hopeful because it has a lot of nice buds. So I'm hoping that this is going to be something that will early flower and give yeah, a lot of interest and obviously smell. And eventually also, you know, fill out the space quite nicely. Next to it, I have a Miscanthus. I fell in love with this type of grass because, especially in autumn, it just looks so nice and like silvery, reddish. It's really small. At first for the garden, I bought quite established plants, but it gets expensive. So to be honest, it grows so quickly, rather just go for something small. Here I have two Scabiosa Kudo Whites. They've been doing a really good job. As long as you deadhead them all around the season, they're going to work really well. As you can see, the wind is kicking off. One plant that I also really enjoy, especially because it just still looks pretty even when the flowers have turned over, is Alchemilla mollis. This one is like a nice deep burgundy, yeah, which looked fantastic. And here I have Geum. It has not flowered for me yet because I planted it quite late last year, but it's Lady Strat Eden, and it's yeah, really nice yellow flowers. And it looks really good, like the foliage is really plump. So I have high hopes for this one. Here I have one of my other favorite roses, which is the David Austin Lady of Shalott. Fell in love with the colors. It's a really nice, like copper, orangey color. Hardly any thorns. I can even see some buds. I will have to sacrifice them. It's just been very, very mild here in Sheffield, so barely had a lot of frost, which is obviously great. Here were my delphiniums, but I cut them back because they had terrible mildew. I had lots of flowers with them, but yeah, the leaves were really, really bad. So yeah, I have to think about something this year to prevent this. Again, if you have any tips, leave them in the comments. Here I have some salvia. Again, I think it was really interesting because I planted them at the same time. This one didn't do well at all, where this one at least grew a little bit. So I don't know if I have to take it out or maybe improve the soil. It's just really difficult in a new build because I had to pull out so many stones and rubble. It's just really important to give a lot of good compost, and that's why I put like mulch down everywhere just to improve the soil structure. This here is a trio of Alchemilla mollis. I'm not too sure. I'm going to give it a chance, but again, last year it didn't flower for me and it didn't look very good, but we'll see. Usually in gardens, I really, really like it because it's just something different. Because obviously the leaves itself are quite interesting, but then it shoots out these nice yellow, dainty flowers, which complement roses quite well, and also nepeta that I have planted down here. I love nepeta. The cats in the neighborhood too, they always come and have a little nibble. But yeah, here I have another David Austin rose. It's called Emily Bronte. Wonderful flowers, gorgeous scent. It's like a really, I guess, like a soft white, but then it opens up to like an apricot. Very unique. Can definitely recommend this one as well. Again, it's due a prune soon. Then I have this clematis. It's called Armandii Apple Blossom. It's supposed to be evergreen. I mean, I guess it is somehow, but it's not looking very well. I bought it in a state where, again, it didn't look good, but I wanted to have something covering the fence that gives me some spring interest. And this clematis is supposed to flower from March onwards. The blooms are supposed to be scented, and as the name says, like apple blossoms, really like this soft pink color. So we'll see. I'm giving it a chance. And then on the other hand, for summer and late summer interest, I've planted a different clematis, which is Prince Charles, and I've already cut it down to a pair of valuable buds. And yeah, it's a group 3, so you prune it every year around this time, and then it's gonna hopefully take off and cover this fence quite nicely. Lastly, in this border, I have my hydrangea pink light. Actually, it's not a limelight because the blooms go from like a greenish white to white and then to pink, and it looks gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful. And again, I leave the blooms on because I think they give such a nice structure, and this plant has been through a lot. Like at one point there was so much snow it weighed down all of the branches. But yeah, as soon as the snow melted, came back to life, and yeah, I'm really impressed, to be honest. And then lastly, here I have another type of geranium. I will have to put the name on the screen, but this was also one of my best performers. Super free flowering, gorgeous like pink petals, and yeah, just a great plant to just cover areas that are a bit weird. Like I wanted to cover just the whole space here, and yeah, really nice. Then here we have our seating area, because this spot gets the most amount of sun, so it made sense to just have like a little chill out area here. And obviously the olive tree is one of my favorite parts about it. We got it extremely cheap from like a plant wholesaler. Yeah, it gives such a nice like holiday feeling. Here in the back I have an Acer. I'm gonna pop you the name on the screen. Forgot about it, to be honest, but it has yellow leaves. Yeah, I just love an Acer. We have two actually. I'll show you the other one in a minute. But here I've planted some planters with various bulbs. Again, can't really remember. Some of them are already starting to pick out, which is exciting. And then this is the last area, which I'm calling the shady border, as it doesn't get a lot of light. I'd say until here it does get a couple hours of sun, direct sunlight, but yeah, this border is such a trial and error. I just planted obviously according to what could handle shade, but I just have to see this year how everything performs. Planted a Salvia caradonna here. I think most of you are familiar with this. Again, a very long flowering period. Just always remove the spent flower stalks here, and you're gonna be fine. And then this is my favorite part about this border, which is the David Austin Rambler Malvern Hills. And as you can see, it's gone quite a way already. I think I planted this last year in September, or yeah, I think September or late August. And as you can see, it really, really has kicked off. Gorgeous, like small, light yellow blooms. And yeah, I've tried to tie them in horizontally, and it really worked. Like, sent out so many side shoots. So I definitely need to tie this in soon. But I'm so excited about it. The plan is obviously to cover the complete brick wall here. And hopefully this is just gonna look amazing. The rest of the bed is looking a bit worse for wear. There are some geraniums somewhere, but I planted them so young that I don't know if they're going to survive, to be honest, or if they're going to come back. Let's say it that way, because they have disappeared for now. I think this is an equilegia, this is an allium, and then this is also one of my favorite plants in the border, which is a rhododendron. It's called gold flimmer. Has a variegated leaf, super gorgeous, and I am so happy about all the buds that are on this plant. Again, no matter snow or wind, held up really well, and I'm looking forward. I really hope that the sun is enough for the flowers to perform well. But yeah, it's supposed to be shade tolerant, so I'm hoping for the best. And then around here, I have hellebores. Again, have not gotten a lot of flowers from this one, but we'll see. And then here I have a couple of anemones. I love them, especially again for some late summer, autumn interest. Here I have a very dormant brunnerer. Very nice for like some spring color and all year round. I think the leaves are really, really lovely. Again, you can't see a lot now, but I'm going to show you in hopefully a couple of months in a garden tour. This was an Asta, I think, and this is a Heuchera. Very cool, like speckled, like burgundy reddish leaves. Very, very pretty. And then, lastly, we have this little space with a lot of planters, because again, I just wanted to bring as many flowers into the garden as possible. And one of my favorites actually is the skimmia. I think they're such versatile plants. The red buds are just absolutely gorgeous. Very nice glossy leaves, and then in spring they're going to burst into white flowers that are going to smell as well. And again, it's shade tolerant, so perfect for the space. Then I have another Acer in here. I'm going to pop you the name on the screen, and then down here is just like a miscellaneous planting of various spring bulbs. I think those are snowdrops, because I just was longing for some flowers. In here, I'm not quite sure. Again, nothing really happened. And then here, the classic primroses. I love these because they remind me of like cherry blossoms, and then some white ones. Need to deadhead them. But yeah, just a little bit of color to keep us going. So yeah, I'm gonna head inside now and make a cup of tea because it's really not great out here. But I hope you guys enjoyed this tour, and please subscribe if you're interested in how this space is gonna turn out. I'm gonna try to make a video every time something interesting happens, really. So yeah, come along on the journey, and thank you so much.